For years, people talked about otherworldly crafts and strange figures near Area 51. But these leaked clips might be the proof we're all looking for.
God, there's the hangar. 2 guards, left side. Spotlight keeps sweeping every 10 seconds. That's the thing. It's real.
It connects hidden sites, secret recoveries, and encounters no one can explain.
Easy, keep it steady. We're heading for Lab 3.
Vitals are weak but holding. Electrode connection's good.
What it hints at might shake long-buried secrets loose. So, let's find out.
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers. Containers of... Maybe containers of soul. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers.
This black and white clip is said to be leaked footage from a secret medical facility, and it has a lot to reveal. It opens with an alien lying on a medical bed with all those wires and equipment. The room looked old, and a doctor was standing beside it as if keeping a check on the figure. But it didn't end there. As the camera panned slightly, another identical being appeared on the right side, also lying still with the same equipment. Their condition looked the same, and it was believed that these aliens were retrieved from the most controversial Roswell crash and kept in this secret lab, but officials never fully explained it. Silent Walker. Another recent Area 51 clip showed military rangers moving near their patrol vehicle. Beside them walked a tiny gray figure, almost like a younger version of aliens. It stayed close, matching their steps, and none of the rangers reacted. They didn't chase it or even step back. It felt like this wasn't new for them, as if both sides were familiar with each other. That raised more curiosity about what was happening inside those restricted buildings. It was believed that this small figure might be part of the security team, quietly guarding whatever project was running deep within the base. Freeway convoy. A driver heading from LA toward Bakersfield recorded a strange scene after traffic suddenly slowed. Placed on a carrier was a saucer-shaped object, moved carefully by a full escort of official vehicles. At first, he assumed it was part of an event or display, but minutes later, at a freeway exit, he saw the same convoy again, this time guarded by federal plates and highway patrol trucks, blocking both lanes. When he tried to keep recording, a white pickup sped up to block his view. Another driver filmed a similar carrier days later, raising suspicion that these transports weren't for public shows at all. They were headed toward restricted zones in Area 51. Unexpected takeoff. Officials said the day was ordinary, but the security feed from Area 51 told a different story. A metallic sphere craft touched the ground for only a moment, its surface shining like polished steel. Before the team could reach it, the craft lifted straight up with a speed no jet on Earth can match. The officers who ran toward it froze, watching it disappear into the clouds without leaving a trail. It did not look like a random visit, but a test run, almost like they were checking how fast they could leave if caught. Many think the higher authorities already knew this craft was coming and simply stayed quiet. What do you guys say? Comment below. Forest encounter. In 2023, a man walking near a Russian forest recorded 2 gray aliens just beyond the trees. One lifeless on the ground, the other scanning the area like it was looking for help, unsure where to go. According to the man, authorities arrived soon after and quietly took both figures away without speaking to anyone nearby. The whole moment lasted less than a minute, but it raised a chilling idea among viewers. That visitors sometimes reach us by accident, and when they do, special teams are already prepared to collect them before anyone else finds out. Hangar secrets. People often joked about Area 52, treating it like something from games, until this clip changed everything. Inside a large hangar, rows of metallic UFOs were lined up like parked vehicles, each shaped differently from anything used by humans. Workers carried strange panels from one craft to another, almost like they were building copies. The uploader claimed this wasn't Area 51 at all, but an even deeper facility the public never knew existed. If true, it suggests the idea of the government creating its own versions of these crafts isn't fiction anymore. The hangar looked too organized to be a rumor. Forest visitor. In September 2021, a security drone flew over the Arizona forest, scanning the area like it did every day. Suddenly, a disc-shaped craft drifted above the ground, moving forward without sound. The drone followed it for a few seconds, but then the screen glitched with sharp static, freezing the footage. Technicians later said the interference looked like strong radiation or energy waves coming from the object. The drone regained control moments later, but the object had vanished. The recording became a quiet conversation among workers, many believing the craft was testing its ability to disable human devices. Hidden transport. Back in 1992, a short clip surfaced showing a huge saucer being moved out of a secret facility. Workers used a crane and a flat carrier to lift it carefully, almost like they were handling something extremely valuable. Before the clip ended, the craft was still on the carrier and ready to leave, but the destination was never shown. Many believe the recording stopped because authorities didn't want anyone tracing where it was headed. Some people said it wasn't from outer space at all, but a human-made project meant to be used quietly in future missions. Frozen impact. In 2022, this man walking through a part of Siberia noticed strange metal pieces scattered across the ground. As he walked closer, he saw a craft torn into several parts, its shape unfamiliar. He filmed everything, unsure if he had found something real or part of a setup. Some viewers dismissed it as a prank, but others said the design looked similar to objects seen in earlier sightings. The worrying part wasn't the wreckage itself. It was the possibility that someone or something might have climbed out before anyone arrived. Crashes in the past showed survivors. So many wondered if this craft had carried its own traveler too. Hidden files.
A flying disc really did crash in New Mexico, and then it did wind up at Area 51. It did not come from Mars, it came from Russia.
Long before social media, a 2011 news segment brought something unusual to light. A reporter shared details from a book written by an author who spent years interviewing people who once worked at Area 51. Their stories described secret Cold War projects and strange aircraft that never reached the public eye. Some documents suggested that unusual pilots were found in a crashed disc back in the mid-1900s. Another source even claimed the craft was moved to Nevada for research. Officials never confirmed or denied these things. Even today, many believe the truth was divided into pieces, only shown to those who had clearance to see the full picture.
Area 51 was set up to push military, science and technology faster and further than any other nation.
Hidden impact.
If this thing would have crashed anywhere in restricted airspace, in restricted area, we would have never known about it.
People near the Nevada desert sensed something unusual long before the news reached them. A strange craft came down just outside the boundary of Area 51, and within minutes, the whole valley changed. Roads were blocked, security teams rushed in, and helicopters hovered as if guarding something sensitive.
Almost the entire Tikaboo Valley was shut down.
By sunrise, crews had cleared the land and covered the ground with fresh layers of dirt, leaving almost no sign of what had arrived. Officials later said it was only a drone, yet insiders insisted the shape and material didn't match any known project. It might be a part of a quiet mission called Black Flag, hinting that this incident wasn't a simple crash, but a moment tied to something far older and deeply hidden.
Pretty sure that this piece came off the actual aircraft.
Northern Cylinder. Back in Canada, witnesses recorded a metallic shape moving through the sky. People from Alaska said they saw the same thing earlier, describing it as a tall cylinder with strange patterns on it. It stayed at an altitude that didn't match any regular aircraft. Later, U.S. Air Force Brigadier General Patrick Ryder confirmed that officials brought it down and moved it for study. No one shared what they found. The quiet handling of this object made many feel that it wasn't something ordinary. Some even said it might be connected to earlier sightings, and the path from Alaska to Canada showed that these encounters are not restricted only to Area 51. Del Rio Medal. In 1955, near Del Rio, Texas, pilot Robert B. Willingham spotted a metallic disc falling toward a remote area. He reported it and later went with a group to check the site. They found scattered pieces spread across the ground, each one lighter and stronger than the materials they knew at that time. The shapes had unusual curves and patterns, almost like they were designed with knowledge far ahead of that era. Researchers later studied the fragments, but couldn't agree on what they were made of. Over the years, people kept linking this case to other sightings, saying the Del Rio pieces might be one of the earliest clues of hidden technology. Quiet extraction.
I got within 150 feet of this object.
What did you see?
I saw an egg, a white egg.
Jake Barber, a former Air Force veteran, once described a scene that felt almost unreal. He was flown into a remote location where a smooth, egg-shaped craft waited on the ground, untouched and silent. It had no wings, no panels, nothing that explained how it moved. His team lifted it by helicopter, treating it like something fragile. Later, Barber said the Pentagon's UAP group privately confirmed the object wasn't made by any known technology. For many, this retrieval became another quiet moment hidden behind simple statements and short reports. But for those who were there, it hinted that someone had been collecting these objects for far longer than people realize.
Was there any visible propulsion system on it?
No, not what we would know. There's no engine, there was no thermal signature.
Preserved secrets.
I'm just wondering if you've ever seen an alien in a jar.
In 2011, a man named Lucas, inside an unknown Ohio lab, captured something that left viewers silent. On a table was this glass jar filled with clear fluid, and inside it was a small form with large eyes and narrow limbs. It looked like it had been kept there for a long time. The room's full look could not be seen in the clip, but it seemed almost like the place was abandoned in a hurry. Experts claimed it was the alien offspring preserved nicely, and this jar was part of a hidden collection, evidence gathered over decades and never meant to be seen. Hidden base. A woman vacationing in the mountains of Australia in September 2025 recorded something she never expected. An opening on the side of a cliff slowly shifted like a gate moving on its own. From inside, a disc UFO glided out, rotating gently while hovering at the entrance. It stayed there for a moment and then shot upward into the sky. At the doorway, a figure could be seen walking back and forth, almost like a guard watching the craft depart. The woman believed she had filmed an actual base hidden inside the mountain. If true, it suggests these visitors don't just pass by Earth, they build quiet homes far from human eyes. Cave Sentinel. A month after the earlier mountain base clip, another strange recording surfaced in 2025. This time, the clip showed a figure standing at the entrance of a cave, dressed in a blue suit that didn't match any known gear. It kept looking around, almost like someone guarding the spot rather than exploring it. Some viewers dismissed it as digital editing, but others noticed how the figure's movements matched earlier sightings from hidden bases. The idea grew quickly. If mountain openings can hide entire UFO hangars, caves might be used the same way. The odd suit raised another thought too. Maybe different groups exist, each with their own role and uniform. Tunnel Stranger. This researcher, Sean Matthews, obsessed with Area 51, decided to test the rumors himself. After years of digging into old stories, He quietly slipped past a restricted section and found a long tunnel deep beneath the base. The clip showed a small gray-skinned figure standing inside, its dark eyes reflecting the camera light. It moved toward him, but then went back to its spot, as if stuck or unsure how to leave. He shared the footage online, calling it proof that the base keeps more than aircraft. Soon after posting, he disappeared mysteriously and was never found again. Viewers still debate whether he exposed something important or walked into something much bigger than he expected. Tunnel mystery. For decades, people have talked about a certain Air Force base in the Nevada desert that hides a network of tunnels linking major research zones. A drone operator flying nearby accidentally recorded one of these openings. The footage showed a large truck carrier entering the tunnel. Nothing about the scene looked random. It felt like a planned transfer meant to be unseen from the main road. These tunnels are believed to connect to deeper programs involving unusual visitors and shared technology. As more clips appear, it's becoming harder to treat the stories as simple rumors. Something organized seems to be happening below the desert. Secret transfer. A short clip from an abandoned building showed a strange being on a stretcher, thin and pale, with one leg missing and marks across its skin. Officials said it was sent to a regular facility for examination, but insiders shared a different side. They claimed the body never reached any public building. Instead, a separate team arrived at night and moved it under strict orders. The story spread that it was taken to a hidden Russian base known for secret experiments. No one knows what happened after that, but the clip left people thinking this wasn't a simple discovery. There were hidden agendas behind it. Unknown destination. In an old recording from the Utah woods, a small disc-shaped craft appeared between the trees before slowing near a larger vessel waiting on the ground. Then, a gray figure stepped out from behind the trees and walked calmly toward the bigger craft. The moment it reached the entrance, the mothership lifted smoothly, drifted upward, and vanished. The clip was grainy, but the sequence felt organized, almost planned. It seemed like the craft was there to drop the figure, and the mothership was there to pick it up and reach a secret destination. Beachside encounter. Sometimes the strangest events aren't caught by experts. They're filmed by people who just happened to look outside at the right moment. This man, Philip, at a resort, saw officers sealing off a beach, all of them standing around a lifeless figure lying on the sand. From his window, the figure looked gray and unfamiliar. He recorded only a few seconds before stopping, worried he wasn't supposed to. What he captured, though brief, gave the impression that the officers knew exactly what they were dealing with. This scene hints at quiet recovery missions carried out worldwide, far from any official confirmation. Secret convoy. This old black and white video didn't have sound, but the clip said enough. Several UFOs were placed on large trucks, while military officers guarded every corner. Some scenes showed the crafts lifting off smoothly, as if they needed no engines at all. Other scenes showed them being moved to different hangars, places that were probably hidden from most workers. People who analyzed the footage noticed how calm the officers looked, as if they had done this many times before. The clip cut off before revealing where the convoy went. Many still believe those crafts were part of a long arrangement between humans and visitors from far away. Breathing trouble. This old leaked clip, shared by an insider, showed an alien inside a secret facility. The being looked weak, struggling to take each breath, as if Earth's air was too heavy for its body. It was coughing, and doctors tried to understand how to help it. The insider claimed this being survived a craft incident and was moved to this hidden room for study. The clip ended before showing what happened next, but before ending, it gave us another sight to think about. It showed a glimpse of another alien sitting beside, but not in the same condition as the other one. Where was this facility, and how many more of these aliens were they hiding? No one knows for sure, and it remains another extraterrestrial mystery. side-by-side encounter. People still talk about December 2022, when a military helicopter was patrolling calmly over Nevada. Out of nowhere, a metallic UFO appeared right beside it, almost like it was matching the helicopter's speed on purpose. The craft's underside had strange parts attached, and the whole thing moved in a slow, steady rotational motion around its axis. Pilots later said the movement made no sense for anything built by humans. It is possible that this rotation helps these UFOs control direction without wings. Or maybe we copied the idea from them long ago. Desert descent. A nomad traveling through the wide Saudi desert recorded something he never expected to see. A saucer UFO landed on the sand, and a door on its lower side slid open, and this tall alien stepped out, looking around calmly, almost like it knew the place well. The craft then closed its door and lifted upward with smooth motion, leaving the figure behind. For a moment, the alien stood still, then pushed upward into the sky with the same quiet speed. The clip ended with the nomad breathing heavily, trying to understand what he just witnessed. It looked like both were heading somewhere far from human eyes. Extraterrestrial examination. This leaked Area 51 clip didn't show alarms or tension. It showed routine. A small being lay on a bed while a doctor used a stethoscope on its chest, as if checking for a heartbeat humans would understand. The being stayed calm, almost like this wasn't its first examination. Nothing in the room looked rushed, suggesting the team knew how to handle such visitors. People who studied the clip think it reveals something bigger. That contact didn't start with dramatic events, but with slow, steady medical studies carried out in silence, hidden behind doors the public never sees. Highway carrier. In 2016, a man driving to work on a Florida highway spotted a massive carrier truck ahead of him. On top of it was a metallic UFO unlike any jet or helicopter used by the military. Its surface was smooth, with no windows or visible engines. Curious, the man pulled out his phone and recorded the entire moment. Later, he uploaded the clip to his social media page, where people instantly reacted. Many said it looked like a recovered UFO being moved to a hidden facility. Others claimed it matched older sightings from the West Coast. The carrier drove on without stopping, giving no answers. Strange sighting. The team from Uncanny Expeditions caught something unusual one evening near a fenced-off zone linked to Lockheed Martin. A tall metal structure, nearly 200 feet high, stood in the distance, humming softly like machinery warming up. As they watched, a dark object rose from the ground and slid into the structure before disappearing underground, almost like it was returning home. The clip was brief, but the movement felt too smooth to be ordinary equipment. This wasn't just testing. It looked more like a place built to hide technology far beyond today's machines. Ocean retrieval.
2-3, be advised, we have a visual on enemy paratroopers at grid.
Locals near the coast said the day felt normal until a loud splash echoed across the water. When people ran toward the shoreline, they saw a disc craft half submerged, glowing softly under the waves. Within minutes, military boats rushed in, surrounding the area before anyone could get close. Soldiers secured the craft and pulled it out with heavy equipment, working quietly and quickly. Some witnesses claimed the water around it moved strangely, as if it carried its own energy. By sunset, every trace was gone, and officials stayed silent. The retrieval was meant to hide something important. Buried craft. A team of archaeologists wandered through the Russian woods, expecting ancient relics or pottery. Instead, they uncovered a UFO buried under the ground. The object wasn't shaped like anything ancient humans would build. It looked like something not from this world. The team recorded everything, whispering in shock as the craft's metal looked untouched by time. It might have landed centuries ago and settled underground. Area 51 secret. After retiring, a former worker named Richard Charles finally spoke about what he saw behind the secure doors of Area 51. He shared a clip showing a massive metallic UFO hanging from the ceiling of a hidden lab. Scientists walked beneath it, pointing at different parts while the craft slowly rotated in place. Richard said this was only one of many recovered crafts kept out of public view. The rotation suggested it wasn't powered down, but resting in a state humans didn't fully understand. His video made people question how long these visitors have been around us. Rocky disappearance. In a rocky region of Ethiopia, an extraterrestrial craft was caught sliding just above the ground. A bright light glowed at its front, almost like a silent signal guiding its path. As it moved toward a massive stone covered in greenery, the craft didn't slow down. It simply slipped out of sight as if the rock opened for it. The person recording believed there was something hidden inside that mountain. Maybe an entrance built long ago. Locals later talked about a base camouflaged within the rocks, designed to remain unseen unless someone caught the right moment. Hidden patient. The most guarded moments in history never make it to any report. They slip out through the hands of someone who can't stay silent anymore. That's how a former official released an old 90s clip in 2021, showing a small being on a lab table while a surgeon carefully examined it. The room looked controlled, almost too calm for something so unusual. The official claimed this footage was kept away from the public for years, stored in a private vault. And many believe clips like this hint at medical programs built to study visitors quietly, far from any public eye. Cold room file. Old tapes from the late 60s often look dull, but this one felt different the moment it surfaced. A group of researchers in Russia stood around a table in 1969, examining the remains of a strange figure. Someone in that same room secretly recorded the entire examination and released it decades later. Their focus, their caution, and the way they handled the remains made viewers think this wasn't their first time doing it. Some say this tape proves that foreign programs were already collecting and studying non-human visitors long before the world even knew what Area 51 was. Military encounter. During a patrol in the Nevada forest, U.S. troops came across a huge metallic disc half buried in sandy soil. Their cameras caught them rushing toward it before stopping at a distance, clearly unsure if it was safe to approach. The UFO looked as if it had crashed into the ground with great force. The soldiers walked around, scanning the area for footprints or signs of someone leaving it, yet the ground showed nothing. The team eventually backed away, likely waiting for specialists. The recording left viewers thinking the craft didn't arrive alone, but whoever used it might have moved on. Vanishing flight. Next is this leaked government clip claimed to show 3 unknown crafts circling Malaysian Flight A370 moments before it vanished. The objects moved in a tight pattern, almost like they were controlling the space around the plane. In the final seconds, the aircraft flickered and disappeared along with the crafts. No official statement ever addressed the footage, and it was removed from several platforms within hours. People still argue about its authenticity, but the coordinated movement in the clip looked far beyond ordinary technology. If real, it suggests the plane didn't simply go off course. It might have been pulled into a place we still don't understand. Forest landing. Somewhere in Arizona, a glowing UFO was recorded just above the ground. It had a bright yellow glow. Then, from inside, white figures jumped out one by one. They touched the ground lightly and rushed toward the nearby trees without looking back. The clip ended right there, leaving no clue about where they went afterward. It looked like an otherworldly landing, and the group might have had some hidden task in that forest. The calm way they moved made it look like they already knew the area, and this wasn't their first visit to that area. Vanishing alien. A CCTV camera inside a room recorded something unusual. A gray figure walked in, paused for a moment, and looked around as if checking the space. Then, in one sudden move, it rushed forward with a speed too fast and vanished. It slipped out of view, and only the room was left on screen. There were 2 ladders in the room, and one of them shifted afterward, but the camera didn't catch who moved it. The clip ended soon after, leaving behind a mystery about what it was searching for and where it went. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.